Hi. I'm already nervous. Hi. This is the first. Okay, stop. I'm going to edit that out.
Count, do a 3, 2, 1 when you're ready to yourself. I always find that helps. Like say it out loud because you can edit it out after.
Yeah.
When you're ready for a new take, just go 3, 2, 1 and start again.
Okay.
And if you
Same
mess
with
up,
you. Just go 3, 2, 1, and then we pause. And when there's a pause in the break, we can go in and edit that out because there's no sound to it. So, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the inaugural video for Tamara Nedkov and Kitchen Talks. And here with me today, we are at my beautiful friend Elizabeth's cottage. And she's holding my hand while I navigate this very frightening event of actually doing a live video. So say hi to Elizabeth Peroshik.
hello everybody.
She has been my best friend for 25 years. We met back in the day when she was literally shoveling shit onto her lawn, and we had kids in strollers. And as we've grown together, we started our spiritual journey together, and we've been holding each other accountable for a bajillion years. So Beth is a intuitive therapist, and she is helping people all around the globe by mentoring and using her intuition to help guide them into a better, more joyful, more fulfilled life. So this is Beth.
Hello
Beth.
everybody. Pleasure to see you through the screen.
Yes, so we are doing the inaugural Kitchen Talks. So Kitchen Talks came to be back in the day. There's a group of us that used to have wine around the 4:30, 5 o'clock window, and we would sit and gab and talk about life and get actually really ridiculous. And we thought, well, you know what, we should start a podcast and we should call it Kitchen Talks. And that's how it started. So we thought today, Beth and I thought we would, you know what, maybe give this a go and start interviewing people. My big platform is that I'm a very social girl, and if you have seen me on social media, you would know that I am a very social girl. Got lots of friends all over the place, and I'm always on the move. But one of the things that sparks me is the fact that what people see online is just basically your highlight reel. So they don't see the real work that goes behind having a joyful life. So Beth and I do a lot of work. As I said, we met 25 years ago. She was literally shoveling shit onto her lawn. And as I say to her, metaphorically, we've been shoveling shit ever since. So,
yes, we have. Yes, we have.
And keeping each other accountable. So very nervous for me. This is not has not been my jam to get and do videos. I'm very fearful, but I'm willing to fail forward. And Beth is here, as she always is, to offer me a safe space and offer me her support and friendship as we dive into this,
Yep.
what hopefully will be a regular podcast and a place to interview women that have stories to tell, so that people out there, and women in particular, and not just women, young people, men, they all see that there is work behind the journey and that you can get to a place of being joyful, but you got to do your work. You got to show up. You got to sit in it. If you're uncomfortable, you got to figure it out. And we're hoping that by sharing some of our experiences and just having open, candid conversations, that you guys will, know that you're not alone, and maybe take tidbits of the wisdom that we've gained over the years by counseling one another, receiving a ton of counseling on our own, going through, for myself personally, I've been through divorces. We've both lost parents within the last few years. So lots of different things that we've gone through that have, got us to where we are now. So it's not just the highlight reel is my thinking. I think you need to, and especially for young people now on social media, they're looking at social media and they're that whole, I'm comparing myself to somebody else because I'm sure that they've got a better life, and it's not the thing.
It's not the case.
It's not
the case.
We all put our pants on one leg at a time. Well, most of us anyway. So Beth rarely wears pants. So
I'm a dress kind of girl.
She is a dress kind of girl.
In fact, I was just thinking about you saying we're shoveling shit. We were literally shoveling shit half an hour ago over coffee. We were still shoveling shit this morning. And very cathartic conversations.
For sure.
Sometimes we just get super silly and giddy, which is awesome. And then sometimes the proverbial spiritual rubber hits the road, and she and I know each other so well that it's easy for us to, not easy, it's often difficult, but easy to be heard and easy to be listened to and easy to, from a heartfelt space, to hold each other's hands. So instead of it being, I'm going to piggyback on what you just said about the highlight reel, this is the real real. Like this is what these kinds of conversations are all about. It's the real real, and we're all required to do our work to make this world, as cliche as it sounds, a better place.
Right.
And that's part of the work now.
And holding each other's hands and lifting each other up when we need it. I can't tell you the number of times I've broken down in this very room and done the ugly cry while Beth held my hand, just because life happens. And you know, if you have somebody that will actually share with you and listen to you and not judge you for your, you know, faults and your own central misgivings, then it is a cathartic place to be. So that's what we're hoping to do with these chats. And as Beth said, it is early morning here at the cottage, and we're getting this one out of the way because I have been nervous and like literally in the bathroom all morning. So
she's a little nervous.
Yeah, so yeah, trying to get this done. So yeah, we were talking this morning. I had actually texted my partner and I said, "Good morning, honey." And he said, "Are you just up?" And it was 9:15. I said, "We've been up for 2 hours and we have been solving the world's problems," like as we do. So yeah, we were.
You're welcome, everybody. We've solved the world's problems.
Yeah, just sit back and chill out. Now, what we also decided is that maybe later on we'll do a proper kitchen talks where we might have a glass of wine and share with the goofier side of things as they get. But we'll see how the day progresses. Yeah, so this is it. This is Kitchen Talks, and we're just gonna let it roll out. And yeah, so where are we going with this?
Let's see what can we chat about that's video worthy today. Probably I'm kind of feeling the friendship thing. I personally hope for all of you who are listening that you can put your hand over your heart and think of somebody in your life who is that proverbial bestie, the go-to person, the person that will listen to you unconditionally, someone you can call on their judgment if they're judging you or you're judging others. Just like that. And those relationships take work too. Those people, you didn't fall into my lap for no good reason.
No.
And mine into yours for no good reason. And we work on our relationship. We work on our relationship just like we do with our partners. So wishing for all of you that you can get someone in your head, someone in your life, more than one if you're lucky, person that you can really call unconditionally. Even my children, I have 2 children. Tamara has 2 children. They're all in the same age group. So they've all been raised together. My children know that if there's any kind of support they need that mom can't give them for whatever reason, they know to call her.
Right.
And so that's an additional blessing to a friendship where like my kids literally know how close you and I are.
Right.
And if there's anything that they need, they know that they can call Tamara. That's a blessing.
Well, the other thing too is that we're spiritually in alignment. Mm-hmm. So our belief systems, I mean, there are times like we ebb and flow, and sometimes I look at her and think she's a freaking loon, and she does the same to me, but she'll call me out on it, and then we talk it out and get back onto a similar path. And we're always doing that. We're spiritually aligned. Our kids know that we're spiritually aligned. So if my children were having issues and they couldn't speak to me, they would go to her. Mm-hmm. And you know, also being a therapist doesn't hurt. But and not that I'm saying my kids need therapy, because that would be rude.
I've got a really wide market in my therapy.
And they would kill me for saying that. But you know, anyway. They have leaned on that.
Yeah, and they, you know what, they benefit from you and I just being you and I in general.
Yeah,
because we're consistently ourselves.
Yeah,
they're not,
and consistently accountable.
Yeah,
I mean, when shit's getting real, and I know that I've screwed up, and I'll go, oh my god, like I have really messed this up, and we talk it out. We figure it out and how to. Apologize.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
Take accountability, and that's tough work. Like we're human beings, of course, and the ego likes to get in the way and say, I'm not saying I'm sorry. There's no way. I might say it to myself, but I'm not saying it to the person that needs to have the apology.
Well, how many people were raised in a family where their parents never said,
Oh, yeah.
never said, I made a mistake? I remember the first time I said that in front of my mom, rest in peace there, lady. I said to my kids, oh, you know what? Mommy messed up. Like, I'm sorry, I messed up. She goes, you don't ever tell your children that you've
You're
messed up.
kidding
And I'm
me.
going, oh, sister, we all know that there's been messing up going on over there.
On the regular.
On the
On the
regular.
regular.
Yeah. So I say that to my kids all the time. So, you know what? Jeez, I got that wrong.
Mhm.
I didn't, I have no ill intention in my heart. Really, like I would say 99.9% of the time. Like I live from a joyful place. I live from a loving place. People don't like me because I'm happy a lot of the time. And I've been told that a zillion times. You're too much. Like you're just too loving. Why are you hugging me? Like that sort of thing. And I've been disqualified from a lot of relationships, including my own father, my father-in-law, because it's just when
Because they say you're too much.
you're too
Yeah.
much. You're just
But
too
there's
loving.
not ever too much of Tam. There's
No,
never enough
no,
of Tam.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I think I'm pretty special. But no, and the too much factor is that too forgiving, too understanding, too seeing it from the other side, where you can look at somebody and go, you know what? I understand your childhood. I understand how you were raised and why you would respond like that, and forgiving, not maybe right in the moment, but for the most part in the moment. And that is hard for people that are very damaged to accept,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't take it. You can't accept the fact that, oh my God, she's forgiven me again, and I'm such an idiot. Well, that's where the accountability comes in.
Right.
Like you have to go, okay, what point do you choose differently? What point do you want to go, okay, this is hurting people. This is not helping. So maybe I'm going to change my ways. Well, in the terms of our 90-year-old fathers, um, those lessons they probably will not get in this lifetime.
No.
So I love them away with love in my heart. I wish them nothing but the best, but they are living their own personal hell away from me. And yeah. I mean, if you're going to err on the side of being something, I think loving and joyful is probably the place to go.
Right. And I think you and I'll speak for you because I'm good at that. I believe you and I are tearing down those walls of the old paradigm of parenting, and that buck stops with you and I. We're
Right.
very, very committed to parenting our children different than the way we were
100%.
parented, and that's okay. Like that's part of our work. We've signed up for it.
Yeah.
We're gleaning the
100%.
results with seeing our beautiful children grow and
Yep.
expand
Yep.
and learn very, very differently than we did. Again, blessings to our parents. That whole proverbial "they did the best they could" thing. Sure,
Yeah, okay.
sure,
So they did.
But that buck stops here. That
Yeah.
buck stops with you and I,
In
and the way our
fact,
kids are
I
going to
want
be
to
raised.
when Jordan was born, my daughter, who is going to have as a birthday next month, whatever. I won't divulge her age because she might kill me. Anyway, I don't think she would, but whatever. I digress. When she was born, you know how you have those aha moments where you just remember that moment, and Oprah used to say that all the time. It's an aha moment, and you have them. And when she was born, she was premature. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital, so it was a little bit of a I was freaking out because my kid was away from me, and I had her within 10 seconds of getting to the hospital. But anyway, I got her home, got her in her nursery, got her to sleep, closed the door to her nursery, and I remember looking up at the sky because I was in a decent marriage at the time. We were excited to have a baby, and in love and all that. But I knew that his family was damaged, and I certainly knew my family was messed up. And I remember outside of her nursery, looking up at the sky, going, okay, whatever it takes, it's got to stop with me. Now, again, you think that you're doing everything right. I certainly was not doing everything right, but I was doing better than what my parents had done before me, and still continue to do so.
Right.
I think, but that was an aha moment for me where I declared to the universe that, you know what? This kid is going to get the best of me that she can get, and consequently my son, and consequently my stepdaughter, like everything, bringing everything to the table. So yeah, it's an interesting journey, but it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. However, in provided we stay grounded as mothers, we'll keep on with the kid theme, the motherhood theme. Provided we stay grounded, there's enough love available, not just for our children, but me with your children, you with my children. It's the grounding in the love of the universe that allows us to say there ain't anything in me that cannot be loving towards another
Oh
child.
yeah, 100%.
And I know sometimes this, aside from our kids, but I clearly have other friends who have children who are raising them.
You have other friends? What?
Oh, sorry, shouldn't have broke that news here on the podcast.
Wow,
on the
right
video.
there. My podcast. She did that. Anyway, go on.
Some of my other friends choose to parent like their parents,
Right.
right? That they're not breaking that.
No, and I like to call that brick wall.
Yeah,
a
the
little
brick
bit.
wall.
The brick
Yeah,
wall.
the brick
parents.
wall.
They do exist. They still exist, and you have to look at them, you know, without judgment.
Right.
Oh,
we have a cardinal
right outside
in our eyesight on the deck.
Yeah, I think that's my mother. I think it's my mother.
Yeah, Tim,
She's
Mommy
always
has come to say hi to us.
Yes.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back to that, and then we, you know, I can find myself, truth be told, getting a little worked up sometimes because I want to teach my friends to parent their children differently, and you just can't do it. Damn it!
No, you can't.
You have to keep your mouth shut, and I hate that part.
You can bring in another perspective.
Yes, I do.
You know, which
you
can say, you know, have you looked at it from this way? Because sometimes, and here's the thing, sometimes people don't know that there's another perspective.
Right.
They've not been given permission to allow themselves to have another perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's the thing. So, I mean, I remember this quote from a bazillion years ago: "A miracle is a change in perspective." It's on my current website. And that was from Marianne Williamson.
Yeah.
And it's really true. A miracle is a change in perspective. And that is like, wow. That one blew me away too. That was another aha moment. Whoever said that you could change your perspective on something.
That sometimes she pisses people off with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to your point of a few minutes ago. People are like, "Well, you stop with the other perspective because you make a really good point, but I am not willing to go there right now."
I'm not going there. I'm going to stay in my anger. I'm going to stay lack thinking. I'm going to think the world is shit. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, but you know, if you look at it like this, and life happens for you, not to you, and everyone's going, you know what? Shut up.
And it's a good damn point, and I hate it. Right? Sometimes that's very, very.
What are you learning?
True. What are you teaching? Right?
Yeah.
That's our mantra between the two of us.
Yeah.
What are you learning? What are you teaching?
Exactly. Yeah. So
you're right. Lead by example. You know what I, for all intents and purposes, refuse to do is to put on the mask or the facade of my friends who choose to parent that way and kind of go with it. I will not.
No.
I dig my freaking heels in like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
And I will stay in my ground as the way I mother and parent.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting though. I'm thinking of a couple kids in particular. They see that in me. Like I can tell mom or dad might be between us physically, but they see through mom and dad, and they see into me. Not because I'm all that in a bag of chips. That's not what I'm saying. Is that the children feel that sense of freedom that they get from me that they can't get from their parents. Now, in fairness to parenting, of course, there's rules, regulations, all that kind of stuff.
Well, you're bringing so much into parenting your children, like all your past stuff, your past parenting stuff, plus your new belief system, whatever that looks like. And everybody has their own belief system. There's no question.
Yeah.
But
and the kid, you know, I'm really in my mind's eye. I'm thinking of a couple kids in particular. They want freedom to be them, freedom to be themselves. We were disallowed from being ourselves.
We were.
And I was raised very strict Roman Catholic. No offense to the Catholic Church, that's fine with me. But it was wrapped up a lot around guilt and shame.
Yeah.
And I will not. I try my darndest.
And the manipulation to keep you under that umbrella of guilt and shame.
Right.
Yeah.
And we still struggle with that.
Oh,
you and I still struggle with guilt and shame. You
Yep.
feel so guilty, feel so shameful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's exhausting. But those are kind of two principles that I really keep strong in my mind, is to give them the freedom, like freedom to be yourself. It just in general.
Because these kids that are coming along now are so much brighter than we ever were.
God.
Like they've got it going on, and they have these brains that have been trained on these cell phones that can do so quickly, whereas we're like going and you need to give them the freedom to actually go and create a different world, because quite frankly, the world's going to go for a tank if
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
have these
If we don't,
young minds to go and change things around.
I
So
remember my son, little spirited soul that he is. Um, I'd pick him up from grade school, which is our kids went to the same grade school. We'd walk down every day and pick up our kids and bring them home. He would run home. And when he was a little more articulate, maybe age 6 or something like that,
he
I
was in
said,
grade he was in kindergarten and he
he
ran
ran
home.
all by himself, right?
Good parent right there. I'm just saying.
And I remember a couple of times just asking him, like he was happily running. Like you could just tell he was like,
Yeah.
get me out of that desk or away from that
Yeah,
desk, get me away from the
Yep.
teachers, get me away from everything. And he would just happily run home. And I always had snacks ready for them when they got home. And he would just be all bubbly just to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of. And then when he got to be a little bit older again, he said to me once, Mom, why do they make me sit in the classroom and learn 1 + 1 = 2? And I didn't have a good answer. I'm like, I don't know. It's the curriculum, I guess. He goes, Mom, in my mind, I can do my multiplication tables up till 12 times 12.
Wow.
They're making me sit, not because he's a genius. I don't mean it like that. He didn't have the freedom to learn at the pace that he could learn.
Right.
They're making them all learn 1 + 1
Yeah.
= 2, all at
All
the same time.
antiquated.
And it's the pent up energy of being told that's what you have to do.
And you have to sit.
And you have to sit, by
You
the
have
way.
to sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a
Stay.
young spirited kid who needs to move.
Especially a boy.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
especially a boy.
Yeah.
So I
Especially
remember
second born.
Yeah.
Like the first ones,
both
they're a
of
little
ours.
bit more like we have our firstborns are girls, our secondborn are boys, and then as I said, I have a bonus daughter, and so she is younger than those two, but yeah, the boys were completely different than the girls.
Yeah.
The girls are very academically inclined and a little bit more studious, and the boys were bing, bing, bing. It's like, wow.
And how many times you'd get called, or not called, parent-teacher interviews? Well, we have a really hard time having him settle down. I'm like, I hope so.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to sit.
Oh my God,
sit
how many
still.
times I got called to the freaking principal's office.
Oh my God.
Lord.
Anyway.
Yeah.
They're flourishing now. All of them. All the children
They're all
are.
Good grown-up humans.
Yep.
They're adulting. They're launched. So.
And my daughter will still call me from time to time. She's she'll be 30 in a bit. Says to me, Mom, adulting is hard.
Yeah.
And I say, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then she'll say, Mom, I don't want to do hard things anymore. I'm like, I get that too, honey. I don't want to do hard things a lot.
No, it's very true.
But they know it. They know it. It's not all light and love. This is, we're in the human condition where we choose to be born human, or we chose to be born human, and this is what comes with it. And I always use this as a just an example. Our family pet of almost 13 years passed away last November. She was very, very sick. So who wants to do that? Like, who wants to go through the grieving process and missing your little pet, your pet of that many years, et cetera, et cetera. But that's human. What did I expect was going to happen when you get a pet? You're responsible
100%.
for a pet. You love the pet like there's no tomorrow, and it's going to die.
Well, we've been through a lot of pet deaths together.
Yes.
So, and supporting each other through that. And of course, I mean, this is totally off topic, but it is exactly what happens. You sign on to get a dog. You know that at some point you're probably going to have to make a decision for that dog and advocate for its end of life. And I know that going in. I have a 7-year-old rescue dog now, and I look at her and it devastates me to think that at some point I'm going to have to say goodbye to her. But I knew that signing on, and I'll probably get another one. Mm-hmm. So it's just part of it. But yeah, love them hard while you got them, and and then you do the shitty bits when you have to. Mm-hmm. So, and we've had to do it like 4 times, I think, so far. Yeah. So yeah, we've had lots.
You're
of
a glutton for punishment on that one too, but you've got a lot of love to give.
Having said that, I mean, no dogs have died at an early age. Like, it's not like it's been, we had it for a year and we had to put it down.
Yeah, devastated like
14
that.
years old, 15 years old, and then Rexy at 10. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Anyway, just my point around that is that we don't get to bypass the human experience. It's
no.
And I'm learning even more and more over the last number of years. or I'll backtrack 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if a nasty feeling was coming up,
Oh
if
yeah, we talked about that this morning.
yeah, an
Yeah.
emotion that was shitty, I would do anything to get rid of it. Here, I'm going to take this shitty feeling, I'm going to park it over here.
Yeah.
Because I am light and love. I don't do that anger thing.
Right.
I don't do that jealousy
Right.
thing. And I've learned a lot lately, and kind of the hard way. So take it
Yeah.
from me and Tam.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it the hard way. Is that it's very important as part of our spiritual growth to experience all. So you're going to experience anger, Elizabeth. You're going to experience anger. Sit with the freaking anger. Sit with the jealousy. Sit with the frustration. Sit
Right.
with
all the
and lo and behold,
the uncomfortable
it
bits,
passes.
right? Yeah, it does.
It's amazing. Or I'll
Yeah.
journal. I'm a prolific journaler. I'll journal that emotion out. Just let's work with it. Let's
Yeah.
make it. Allow it. Work with it.
Right.
Listen to it. Trust it. And then the next time the anger is not quite as intense.
Right.
I don't expect to ever get rid of it altogether.
Or find out what's in it for you too, right?
Yeah.
Like what's in it? Why am I angry? What is it bringing up?
Because sometimes it's legit. Well, it is legit. Grief is legit. When your dog dies, it's legit.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Or if someone's really done something nasty to you, or I don't know, whatever could happen in life, anger is real. Why am I feeling angry? Because that person pissed me off. That's why.
Yeah.
So let's look at that.
Yeah.
Let's look at that. It's not like, oh, you shouldn't be.
And then try to forgive it.
Yeah.
Right? You have to.
Yeah.
Look at this one.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Of that one.
Okay, Buddha over here. Yeah. I gotta forgive that shit.
And I'll say to her, "What? Do I have to really?" Well, if you want freedom, she'll say. Then,
yeah. Forgiveness sets you free, and it's true, because I've got a lot of people that I should be really angry at, and I don't care anymore. I'm like, you know what? I get it. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. And I bring up a lot of issues for a lot of people, and it's been that way my entire life.
Yeah.
And
so no point in changing now, darling.
No, it's not like I go and try to freaking fix everybody. I don't do that. I've learned to zip it unless somebody asks for my opinion on something. Except for my partner, I pick on him all the time, and he loves me for it. Let me tell you. But no,
well, and you're good at it though.
Even with him, I'm trying to be quiet now and just let him do his thing.
A skill that you've really learned and developed and morphed into the best that you have to offer.
Right.
By not doing that all the time, right? Because you think you just want to run in and rescue everybody.
I do. I want to fix everything. I want everybody to be happy and have a happy life. And if you look at it from this perspective, then maybe, you could see that there's actually some lessons there for you. Yeah. Not everybody wants to hear that. No. And that's not my business. So I smile and nod.
But it's really hard to keep your mouth shut when you feel you've got the answer,
it's her,
right?
Unless it's her. And then I go, are you freaking kidding me? Seriously?
We don't have any
doing
filters.
This shit for 35 years. You should know this by now. But whatever. Anyway.
And the I'm going to call it the fun, because I think our friendship is a lot of fun.
It is.
The fun of having some of your shit come up again and again. And you're like, did we not fix that shit about me like 5 years ago? I thought we fixed that. And now here it is again. And here it is again. Another layer.
Frickin' onion. The frickin' onion. Yes, there's another layer. I don't remember which therapist said, yes, it's like an onion. There are many layers. And I'm going, oh,
fuck off.
Shove your onion up your ass. But yeah, it's like an onion.
It's true.
It's like an onion.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay, well, on that happy note,
yes,
I think that was
really fun chatting.
Yay! Okay, we got the first one under the belt. I promise they'll get a little bit better, and I'll try to not cuss as much. But it is.
Oh, it's fucking fun.
It's who we are.
This is the world we live in right now, right? And it's one of the most powerful words in the world.
Yep.
You're going to hear it from me every once in a while.
So don't clutch your pearls, Martha. It's who we are. Anyway, thank you.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you too.
Lots of love, everybody.
Have a great day. I probably should have sat there for a minute.